some guy phoned in to say that he went to the website and to get his, his papers, his electronic papers, whatever it is, and he was informed that he was 86,000th in line.
Sorry, something went wrong.
These jabronis came back last month to announce the vaccine passport. Then they prorogued the legislature, and then on the eve, 1 hour before this kicking in, they yanked down this thing for routine maintenance. I've always thought there's a real don't mess with us attitude with Australians, and wow, I think it's finally coming out big time.
Producer Justin, as he flashed on the screen, Tyler Chandra is now Labour Minister. So he's gone from Health Minister to Labour Minister. I don't know how you can be qualified for both. Either he's not qualified for either, or he's very qualified for one, and you're admitting that what are we saying here? He's either very qualified for one or not the other. He's qualified for both somehow. Or can anybody do these jobs because you don't have to be qualified for a ministerial position? How can you go from an unsuccessful health minister, okay, now I trust you to handle the Labour minister position? Yeah. I think it's a cop-out by the party.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's so that they don't actually have to fire his buddy.
Yeah.
And it shows me that they're not serious about the complaints that people are giving them.
You're 100% right, High Energy. This is all about optics. This is, we're demoting, I guess. Chandra, if you can call that a demotion. Maybe it's a lateral move. I don't know. Wonder if Chandra's going to be up at, what do they call it, the Sky Palace?
How come no one gets fired ever in our politics? No one ever gets fired.
Let them eat cherry cheesecake.
The only crossing cherry cheesecake off the bingo card. The only
Is that there?
Yeah, it's there. The only people that get fired are the people who disagree with the party. In Doug Ford's party in the federal party, somebody who Justin Trudeau, quote unquote, allegedly abuses verbally or something, somebody he disagrees with. These are the only people that get fired. They won't fire people for actually having, a bad go of things and being bad at their job. Only for disagreeing or doing something that the leader doesn't like can someone be fired in Canadian politics. I must stress, David Menzies, these are not very intelligent people.
No.
These are not the brightest people. The people in charge of us are not great or super special because they have these titles. These are regular people that kiss the right asses. Yep. They know the right people. Tyler Chandra clearly isn't on the outs with the party if he's still there after doing a terrible job. You would have to assume that either he's good friends with the people in charge or they think he's done a better job and than the rest of the population thinks. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
My friend Becky, who is an RN, and of course she's totally against the mandate that's come down.
I want my freedom away from the vaccine. It's my choice.
We should all be banding together and allowing people to have choice.
Same thing. I want choice. I want freedom of choice as well.
Just don't really have time for things that don't work. And if it's so great, you obviously wouldn't need to force it. It's ineffective. It's been proven ineffective.
Now, I can marry who I want, I can sleep with who I want, I can choose to keep a fetus if I want, but I can't choose to pick what I want to put in my body. There may be alternatives for treatment, even if so, why do I not have my body, my choice?
We need to move on, live our lives. Come on, guys. You can do this.
I came to the protest today because I'm against masks, I'm against the mandates, I'm against coercing people, I'm against the job completely.
I've been coming here for the past 18 months, seeing the angry Albertan here, speaking up and talking out, and it's good. It's good to meet people who are like-minded, and lots of people think the same way.
Our freedom is at stake. This is terrible. Yeah, this is all one big family. Yep. And we just can't take the tyranny anymore. We can't take the stripping down of our freedom one after another, after another, after another.
Well, if I don't get the vaccine, then I can't do anything. I can't watch my kids play hockey. I can't take them to the pool. I'm losing my job. I work for Alberta Health Services. and I'm not doing it. I'm not complying. I'm not going along with this. This is so wrong.
Well, I'm here because I have 4 children and I'm standing up for their right to make medical choices for themselves.
I heard Justin Trudeau say that if you don't believe in vaccine passports, you just might be a misogynist, is what I heard.
What the Prime Minister has to say about me means nothing to me. He's a liar.
The Prime Minister in here is not my Prime Minister. He is nothing. He no love Canada. He no love the people. He love himself. He's evil.
You know, the one takeaway, well, there's two from that brief clip of that excellent report from Sheila Gunn-Reid. One is that lady who identified herself as being with Alberta Health Services. I wouldn't be surprised if she's already fired just for going on camera and making that opinion. But what does it say? Here's a woman who is going to have to say goodbye to her career for not getting this experimental vaccine. She is going to suffer an enormous economic penalty. We know Charles McVitie was talking last night at Canada Christian College about people losing their houses. This is horrible. This is disgusting. And that last lady that we ended the clip on, I think that was a Eastern European accent. And you know, Andrew, I've been covering these anti-lockdown, anti-vaccine, anti-masking protests for about 1.5 years now, since they began back in April of 2020, if you can imagine. And I will say this, the most passionate protesters are those from the former Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc countries, you know, like Romania, Hungary, Poland, you name it. They've seen this play out before. First of all, there's a crisis, real or manufactured. And then the government says we have to temporarily rein in some of your rights. And guess what? The reining in of those rights, that's the new normal. Let's just say this, Andrew, and this this kind of firing, ousting from caucus, whatever you want to call it, that speaks to a dictatorial nature. But let's also talk about competency. Today, the vaccine passport, as of midnight, it kicked in Ontario. So you're going to the gym, going to a restaurant, going to a sports facility, going to a movie theater, going to a theater that has live plays, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You need the vaccine passport to prove that you're double jabbed. Can you imagine? I'm not making this up. I cannot believe this story. At 11 p.m. last night, the Ontario government website that handles the vaccine passports went down for routine maintenance an hour before and didn't go back up until sometime after 8 a.m. Can you imagine? And I was listening, I was driving in, I was listening to one of the AM radio stations. Some guy phoned in to say that he went to the website and to get his, his papers, his electronic papers, whatever it is. And he was informed that he was 86,000th in line.
Sorry, something went wrong.
These jabronis came back last month to announce the vaccine passport. Then they prorogued the legislature. And then on the eve, 1 hour before this kicking in, they yanked down this thing for routine maintenance. You know, and I feel for the people in the hospitality industry who are probably going to this website too, because how are we going to handle this? We might have to replace the nice hostess with a gnarly bouncer. And it's down for routine maintenance? Unbelievable. And can I just say this, Andrew, and this kind of firing, ousting from caucus, whatever you want to call it, that speaks to a dictatorial nature. But let's also talk about competency. Today, the vaccine passport, as of midnight, it kicked in Ontario. So you're going to the gym, going to a restaurant, going to a sports facility, going to a movie theater, going to a theater that has live plays, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You need the vaccine passport to prove that you're double jabbed. Can you imagine? I'm not making this up. I cannot believe this story. At 11 p.m. last night, the Ontario government website that handles the vaccine passports went down for routine maintenance an hour before and didn't go back up until sometime after 8 a.m. Can you imagine? And I was listening, I was driving in, I was listening to one of the AM radio stations.
Nice one.
I think we all follow Rebel News.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we like to hear that. That's great.
However, there were a few that were very sceptical of me and thought I was mainstream media news because of how I dressed.
I thought you were calling me scum media then.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Maybe later on.
Yeah, oh, we saw that from the Pfizer vaccine.
6 months.
Yeah,
But
it's terrible.
You don't report it, do you?
Well, Rebel News.
Why would you not report it?
Well, it's just come out yesterday.
This bloke was really annoyed because a study came out just the day before saying over 30,000 people.
Why are we here today?
Why are we here today? Right, we're here today because the likes of the people in this building are terrorists. They have terrorised our elderly into believing that they can't breathe fresh oxygen, yeah? We are here today because all they do is slander us. They lie continuously. They make profit off of the back of the lies that they tell. We've done this 4 or 5 times now, and every single time we have been peaceful, we've remained calm. It's the police here today that always start the trouble, okay?
Pat!
Long time no see. How you doing? You're right, yeah?
How are you?
I'm all right. A lot's changed since our last interview.
Would you date someone who's vaccinated?
No. There's not a chance I'm putting my piece in anything that has been double jabbed.
What are you doing here today then?
So a collective group of us have been organising protests for a few months now. We've been chasing the extremists, we call them, the not bad people, you know, they've just been misled for the last 18 months. We've been following around London, fueling this garbage of let's all stand around and listen to speakers, big speakers that make money off us and all this crap.
What do you think's more restrictive, going away on holiday or Boris Johnson's hair comb?
Boris Johnson's hair comb.
UK protest was interesting, but let's be honest, that was a garden tea party compared to what's happening down under.
Okay, we want to go to Australia. Avi Yemeni has been covering, of course, this union, construction union, who's been less than friendly to their union bosses as of late because they, you know, stuck a knife in their back, didn't defend them from the vaccine passport and requirement, whatever you want to call it. And I'd like to mention that the union's primary goal is to work for the union workers who pay their dues towards the union, not just side with the government or the organization for which they work. So thousands of them have been gathering outside the union building. They pelted them with soda cans, I think, last time. It was not a good scene.
And the union was fighting back with hoses of water.
Avi Yemeni here in Melbourne, Australia, 3rd day in a row where construction workers are protesting, promising, chanting every day they're going to be back, undeterred by the threats of police changing tactics. We've seen pepper spray deployed. We've seen an armoured vehicle now deployed with what looks like a counter-terrorism squad now fighting citizens here that are protesting, construction workers that are protesting. The full story coming exclusively to rebelnews.com.au. Sign up at yemenireport.com. Give us your name and email. We'll ensure to send you this full story. Watch your space.
You know, how perversely ironic is that? That is evidently the Shrine of Remembrance. I guess, I'm assuming that's what they call the cenotaph there. High energy, the very fact that this shrine is commemorating those Australians who died to preserve democracy, civil liberties, freedoms, and here's a protest, and the police are turning rubber bullets and pepper spray on people at the Shrine of Remembrance. It is staggering.
Oh, hi.
Hi, that was a clip from our Rebel Daily live stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.